Joe Rogan may have uncovered something unsettling about Diddy's case. According to discussions on his podcast, the story doesn't end with Diddy. It may extend far beyond him, reaching the highest levels of power. What Rogan said publicly may have crossed a dangerous line. That I end this video. We're breaking down the alleged power structure connected to Diddy, from the inner circle all the way to the top. You'll hear why certain names are never questioned, who the real gatekeepers may be, and why Rogan's comments raised serious eyebrows. While Diddy sits in jail awaiting trial, many believe the story ends there. According to recent conversations, that assumption may be wrong. The alleged network surrounding him is far larger than what's been shown in headlines, and that's where things get unsettling.
Going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get
Think he's
hit up.
insane, though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's a lot of it is.
But then it's just another Epstein.
There's
it's another
murder
Ghislaine
cases.
Maxwell,
But
where
there's
somebody gets
murder
indicted and
cases.
nobody else. Indicted for trafficking kids to
Right.
no
to,
one.
to no one. Right. We're like, what is the next crazy thing that's going to explode in the news? Is Bill Clinton's going to have an OnlyFans? Like, what is going to happen? What is the next thing that's going to make us all go, what the f? Like, what the f is going on?
It's coming. You know, it's
How many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party? How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how Ashton Kutcher, all these people. Like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing?
Before looking at who might be pulling the strings, it's important to understand the allegations against Diddy. He has been arrested and federally indicted on serious charges. Prosecutors allege he abused his power to exploit victims. Central to the case are the so-called freak-off parties, private events where, according to lawsuits, attendees were drugged and secretly recorded. More than 120 people have come forward with accusations, including claims involving minors. 50 Cent's Netflix documentary The Reckoning renewed public attention on the case. But here's the key point. Multiple commentators believe Diddy was not acting alone and may not have been at the top. That on Joe Rogan's podcast, parallels were drawn to Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were convicted of trafficking, yet no clients were officially named. Rogan questioned how that pattern keeps repeating, where facilitators fall but those above them remain untouched. Rogan also mentioned celebrities who publicly acknowledged attending Diddy's parties, questioning how so many people saw nothing. That silence, he suggested, raises uncomfortable questions.
I thought these words would come out my mouth, but Candace Owens is onto something, and that did not feel comfortable at all. So Candace says the reason mainstream news is not picking up this lawsuit, is not paying attention to Diddy at all, is because of this man right here, Lucian Grandage. He is one of the most powerful men in Hollywood and music. And he been up in Diddy's room. So this man right here is Sir Lucian Charles Grandage. He's been the CEO of Universal Music Group since 2010, so you know he done seen some shit. So I had to go to the damn documents. I had to see if this man was actually named, and he is. As you can see, it says Lucian Charles Grandage, and it also says Universal Music Group. On top of that, it says Ethiopia. I cannot fuck up her last name. I refuse to. But she was also a big person in Universal Music Group. And then Christina Coramham, Lord forgive. But she was like Diddy's second hand.
One lawsuit, often referred to as the Little Rod case, names Lucian Grange, CEO of Universal Music Group. The lawsuit alleges Grange attended Diddy-hosted parties and knew, or should have known, what was happening. IT further claims these events involved sex workers, underage individuals, and drugging through alcohol brands associated with Diddy. These are allegations, not proven facts, but they raise serious concerns. Commentators like Candace Owens have questioned why mainstream media coverage has been limited. Universal Music Group executives Ethiopia Habtemariam and Christina Coram are also named in court documents, accused of being aware and failing to intervene. The claim is simple but disturbing. Major labels may act as protection systems, prioritizing profit and influence over accountability.
Only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's
You
the
know,
only person
there's
who's
not a
Sean
single-
approved.
There's not a single person that
Outside
should be,
of family?
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That
just
should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
Another voice-fueling debate is Jaguar Wright. In a now difficult-to-find interview with Piers Morgan, she made explosive claims about Jay-Z and Diddy. The interview's disappearance only intensified speculation. Wright questioned why Jay-Z has never been publicly pressed about industry rumors or connections. She labeled both men as long-standing power figures who allegedly shaped the industry through fear and control. Questions also arose when Jay-Z's high-profile attorney reportedly became involved in Diddy-related legal matters. Jay-Z has remained silent, which many interpret not as neutrality, but as strategy. Joe Rogan frequently discusses how elites rely on powerful fixers and attorneys, people like Alan Grubman, who draft NDAs, suppress stories, and protect reputations for decades.
It's good. There's probably several thousand hours of footage here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I should say, I think you voted for Biden.
I'd like to see a matchup of those, call it the top 100 puppet masters on the Epstein client list.
Do you think there's some overlap?
Strong overlap. Strong overlap.
When are we going to see that list, do you think?
I don't know.
Will that ever come out, do you think?
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes. And Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
And I only ask that because you can sort of, you just look at them and you're like, that's a nervous person right there. I don't know. I mean, I assume you know them. Yeah.
Yes.
Rogan and former CIA officer Mike Baker often compare Diddy's alleged operation to Epstein's. The theory isn't that Diddy invented the system, but that he functioned as a facilitator. If recordings existed, as alleged in court filings and commentary, the question becomes, who are they for? Elon Musk hinted on Rogan's podcast that fear of exposure may explain why certain figures receive massive political or financial protection. Names like Bill Gates and Reid Hoffman were mentioned in speculative discussions, not as accusations, but as examples of how powerful people might fear hidden lists becoming public.
So you have these guys, like a Jeffrey Epstein type guy, who works with the elite of the elite clientele. It's all movie stars, big-time politicians, world leaders, scientists, Nobel Prize winners, and they all meet together and have fascinating conversations and cocktails, and there's beautiful girls everywhere. Of course. What a great idea.
Right.
And if you're naive and you don't understand honeypots.
Here's the quote from Maria Farmer, who was one of the accusers from what was inside the house in New York.
Okay, she said, there were monitors inside this cabinet. I looked on the cameras and I saw toilet, bed, toilet. She said, visibly spooked. Like, I'm never going to use the restroom here and I'm never going to sleep here. You know what I mean? It was very obvious that they were like monitoring private moments. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Maria Farmer was the one who worked at Epstein's office in New York, I think.
And this was the house, Jamie?
Yeah, I was looking up stuff on the house. That was like what they
I
found.
wonder if the
in
house still
too.
has fucking cameras in it somewhere that they haven't found yet.
They definitely, don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to scan the shit out of that house. You'd have to take the walls apart. There's probably listening devices inside the walls. Like, who knows? If this was like really an intelligence operation, yeah, they probably had that house fully wired.
This is what some call the facilitator model. Allegedly protected spaces allowed elites to behave without scrutiny until those environments became leverage zones. Rogan posed the key question: was Diddy working for someone above him, or did he lose control? The discussion also raised questions about those closest to Diddy, including Jennifer Lopez. Critics ask why no warnings ever surfaced from insiders, suggesting fear, loyalty, or self-preservation. Federal raids reportedly recovered extensive video material, though details remain sealed. Commentators argue these recordings functioned as insurance, not just blackmail. Even religious leaders have been pulled into speculation. Bishop T.D. Jakes appeared symbolically in 50 Cent's documentary, prompting online debate. When questioned, Jakes declined to directly deny involvement, which fueled further discussion. Some researchers visualize this as a pyramid: celebrities at the bottom, industry gatekeepers in the middle, and unseen power brokers at the top, spanning entertainment, politics, tech, and religion. Dave Chappelle once described the industry as a closed system of control, famously comparing it to one plantation to another. If someone at his level felt trapped, what does that say about everyone else? So what do you think? Are these just coincidences, or signs of something much larger? Share your thoughts in the comments. Stay curious, stay questioning, and I'll see you in the next one.